we're up to the final question in our list of questions, Nick. Yes. Then we can get back into Unity. Well, then we can do some other things outside of Spark.
Cool.
And then we get into Unity. But to answer this question, what is the completion rate of levels with starts and completes? So comparing starts and completes, finding the ratio of them, we need to be able to join data sets together. So if you already know how to do joins in SQL and what they are and are quite comfortable with them, skip this video.
Alright, see you next video.
See you next video. So, bam, you're on the next video. However, if you don't know what joins are, you're relatively new to SQL, then stick around and let's explain what a join is.
Yep.
So to do that, we are going to create two tables. And we're going to do this with CTEs. So we'll say with, what can we call this one? Person. We'll go the person and workplace. That was my water bottle. I knocked that over. I don't know how. Anyway, so we'll go call the table person as...
Yeah, do the SQL.
Yep.
And
then,
SQL.
But, I do need to do more %SQL, don't I? Thank you. Thank you very much. And another table which we'll call... What address?
Workplace.
Workplace. Workplace as that. Alright. Let's go with this. Select Richard as first name, Morwood as last name, and
LinkedIn profile.
Let's put an ID at the start, which I'll just put 1 as person, as ID.
Comma, your favorite.
That. I'm not going to put any from in there, but if we want to build our own thing, we just put union and now put in another row.
What?
Do.
Oh.
Nick Box, Nick Cotton.
Nick Box.
And one more person in there, which we'll put as who? Jiminy Cricket.
Cool. ID.
Okay. ID needs to be 3.
Yep.
We put in here. So just before I quickly jump over to that one, we can do this now. We've now created this table called person. If I can get the cursor to go where I want it to go. Select star from person, which will get me 1, 2, and 3 with the IDs, first names, and last names. Now, this is actually quite interesting. If you don't put an order by, you have no guarantee of the order of results being returned.
So, okay, if you do it, run it again.
It's probably going to go in the same order. Which is just weird. So that's the way Spark is farming itself out to all the threads and it's returning them. Okay, cool. So we can now look at this table called person and let's bring in some workplaces. So we'll go select 1 as ID and info track as company. We'll just leave that as company. Well, that's all we need for these two. Union. So you can be info track, I can be 3D buzz. We could both be 3D buzz actually, because we're both doing this for 3D buzz.
Cool.
3D buzz. Where does Jiminy Cricket work?
Geppetto's workshop, I guess, sort of.
Jep.
I don't know how to spell it.
Geppetto's workshop. What's happened?
Escape.
Oh, I forgot that.
Backslash. Oh.
Double quote.
Okay.
No.
No.
Triple.
No. It is double, and then you've got 2.
Oh, I do have 2 at the end. Yes, thank you. Okay. Select star from workplace. Great. Hey, they're in order. No, they're not. You can be 3. Alright, now I need one more table that we can use as our relation table, which we'll call person workplace. As well, that was going to do nothing. Yep, don't know what I did. Accidental. Select 1 as person ID, 1 as workplace ID, and I should probably call these things proper as well. workplace ID, workplace ID, workplace ID, person ID, person ID, person ID, union, and now we can just put these things together. So person 1, which is me, has a workplace of InfoTrack. Person 1 also has a place of work as 3D Buzz. Better put another union in there. Person 2 is Nick, and Nick works for InfoTrack on number 1.
Yep.
For the sake of just showing this, I will leave you not as 3D Buzz, and we'll go straight on to Jimmy Cricket.
Yep. As 3.
As 3. Nah, you know what? We're giving you a 3D Buzz. That's not very nice of me not to put you there.
Yeah, it's quite rude.
Yeah. It's all because I got your name wrong a while ago. So now we can say select star from person workplace, and we have this list of IDs that go together, and we go, hey, I want to know where who person 2 is, and I want to know where person 2 works.
Cool.
And to do this, we need to work with joins. So we can, now we're going to say from person workplace is our first table. We're going to start at person workplace, and we're going to find out who the person is by joining person workplace to person. And we do that with a common field. In this case, that common field is person ID and person ID. Now, they don't have to be called the same thing. I've just done calling it that for the sake of it being the same thing and being easy to work with.
Okay.
One of them might be ID, and the other one might be person ID. One of them might be person ID, one of them might be person.id. You have all kinds of weird things like that you can come across. We're going to use level name pretty soon.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be an ID. They don't have to be called the same thing. However, it is always nice if they are the same thing. So what we can do here is down in our bottom query, we can say select, we'll say star from person workplace, join with table person.
Yep.
And we'll call person P, and we'll call person
PW.
Workplace PW. Now you don't need these aliases. It's shorthanding it instead of having to write the whole thing out.
Yep.
And to join together, we say on what field? PW dot person ID is equal to P dot person ID. So where they're the same thing, we can join the tables.
Yep.
And if we select everything from these two, it's going to say, no worries, I will pick you everything from person workplace. And I can't remember how Spark treats this one, but if it's like Microsoft's SQL, then it'll say, also I'll give you all of person as well. Let's find out. Hey, there we go. So we have got our person workplace, person ID, our person workplace, workplace ID, our person ID, and our first name and our last name of those things together.
Okay.
So we've got person ID here twice. So if we put this in as pw.star and p.star, now we know pw has 2 fields. So it's going to return them in the same order that it gets them. Person workplace has person ID and workplace ID, so it will return them in that order.
Cool.
But we can also, just for the sake of example here, switch them around and go person first. So then we'll see person ID, first name, last name, person workplace ID, person workplace, workplace ID.
Cool.
And then if we want to join in the workplace table, we go join workplace W on what do we want to join it with. So
pw.workplace ID.
Exactly. pw. I don't want to type it, so I'll copy paste. Where pw workplace ID is equal to w.workplace ID.
Cool.
Now if we run this, we get the exact same results as before, because we didn't actually tell it. We started off with just star, which said pick everything, and then we said it pick person table and person workplace table. We didn't actually tell it to bring in the workplace table at all.
Cool.
And now we can see that Nick Carton works for 3D Buzz and Nick Carton works for InfoTrack.
Cool.
Alright, finishing this one off, if we have all these things together, now we've got person ID and workplace ID. We don't need person workplace in here anymore, so we can kill this guy off.
But there are also different types of joins. How does that affect a data set?
Yes, coming back to that in a second.
Okay. Yes.
So now it's just gotten rid of the person workplace. If you only want particular things in there, like you don't want the IDs to be returned, then you can specify everything. First name, P dot last name, and W dot company.
Mm.
There we go. So now we've hidden the IDs and we've now got our first name and our last name and our company. Alright, so we have done what is called an inner join. This is saying there must be results in both tables. If we were to come here and say, hey, I've got Geppetto's Workshop as a workplace ID, and we get rid of it. So now we have a mapping from person workplace saying that Jiminy Cricket as person ID 3 works at workplace 3,
Which doesn't exist.
which doesn't exist. If we run this query now, he will actually disappear.
Oh.
Oh no, he's gone. Because
Whoa.
we've said they must exist in both tables of the join.
Can you do ones that don't exist in the joins?
Yes, we can. So to do that, we will simplify this query by getting rid of workplace. And
Wait. Oh, okay, yeah.
we're just going to get rid of the join to workplace so that we only have to talk about one table join.
Mhm.
It's easy to demonstrate that. Get rid of that, rerun it, and we'll still have the... Whoa, what did I do here? Oh, of course, it's whinging saying, hey, I can't find where W company is,
Yeah,
and
okay.
that's because we got rid of the
W alias.
the W part of it. So
Yeah.
we'll get rid of that, get rid of W company, and run this. Alright, but now it's gone back to giving us a result set because we got rid of workplace ID 3, but we're looking at person workplace, and we've got 3 as the person ID, and that joins up to here, which is table.
Wait, so was Jiminy there?
Jiminy is here.
Yes.
So it was we removed him
because
from the
he is
the
in the
workplace.
person workplace.
He's still in person workplace, and he's still in person.
Mm.
We got rid of it from workplace.
Okay.
So let's break Jiminy Cricket again by getting rid of him from the person table. So he still exists in person workplace. It's still saying, hey, I'm going to try and get this person ID number 3, and I'm going to join it with person.
Mm.
But there is no person 3 in person anymore.
Mm.
So what's it going to join with? Nothing. We've only got Nick and Richard.
Okay.
So if we go, hey, I want to know which of those results, how many of these entries in person workplace do I have that do not exist in person?
Okay.
And we do this through what's called a left join. This has been called an inner join. If you just type in join...
Why is there no outer join? Is there outer join?
There is outer join.
What does that do?
Ooh. So an inner join says they must match together. It's the same as calling join. Saying left join is the same as saying left outer join.
What?
Just trying to simplify the language. Get rid of bits and pieces. So,
What?
yeah, if you see a join on its own, it means they must exist in both tables.
Okay.
Let's ignore this inner outer part, and we'll just call it left.
But doing a left join like this would be the same as just returning the person workplace?
Ooh, let's find out. Let's find out.
No.
We've got some nulls in there. What? So yes, we should make this a bit more explicit. So we're going to bring back pw.star. And we'll keep this as left join. So the left join says, I've got a person ID and I've got a workplace ID. Go and find me something in the other table. And if you've got something, return me what the value is of the first name and the last name. Then all of a sudden we go, hey, so I can work with that because person ID is here and person ID exists in the person table as well. But all of a sudden we're coming down to, I'm going to change this to p.star just so we see person ID in 2 places. There we go. So now we've got person ID of 2.
So what determines if it's a left table or a right table? The order of
it being there.
But what if you have multiple joins?
Then it's still whichever top is left, bottom
Oh,
is
because
right.
on each join you specify if you want the right or left.
Yep.
That could get complicated very quickly.
Yeah, it can. But let's keep going with this first.
Alright.
Alright, so here we've got person ID of 2. So this is pw.person ID of 2.
Mm-hmm.
And this one here is p, so person table's person ID. So we can see that it exists. So it goes, I have a match, I can join over here, so I will get you the other fields that you have. With an inner join, which is just join on its own, we said if you don't have a match in both tables, then just don't give me anything. Don't return it at all. So then we come to a left join and we say, all right, so the table that we had as our first table is considered the table on the left, and we'll draw a Venn diagram for that in a second. We can say, if you return me what you have, regardless, but then join over with the right-hand side, and if you don't have anything in that table that I'm joining with, then just return nothing, or just return null. So make sure that you always give me all of the results in my first table, and if there's nothing in the right-hand table for you to join in, then don't worry about it. Just give me null.
Okay.
All right, so if we switch over to Photoshop for this one, just checking how long we're up to, 15 minutes, so we're all right. Get rid of that. You'll see this one for joins all the time. If I have select star from table 1 and join table 2, this is table 1. In this case, it's person workplace. And over here we have person.
Yes.
Because this is the from clause, this is the table on the left. And this is the table we're joining with, so this is the table on the right.
Okay.
When we say join them together, we're saying get me all of the data that has a crossover.
Okay.
So this is our regular join. When you do an inner join, you're saying get me this area, only this area where you have matches.
So basically you could say that the people in this filled in area here are people with jobs.
Yep.
And then the one in the one on the left would be all workspaces or all workplaces. So they could be, you could have a workplace without any people.
Correct.
And then you could also have the P, which is people without jobs.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep. In this case, we've said this is the inner join, or just regular join.
And so here you'd do a right join if you wanted to see all people
who didn't have
jobs and also people. But that's the same as but we just get more information, because if we just, it's not actually the same as just being like select all the people, because then we don't know if they have jobs or not. But if we cool,
I get what you're going for. Yes.
Cool.
I'm going to keep going with this example though.
Alright.
So if we're doing a left join, which is the one that we demonstrated, we said pick all of PW, and here is our person table again. We said this is the inner, and if they don't have anything existing, if we've got them over here in person W, like Jiminy Cricket, we had person ID number 3, but we removed him from person table.
Yep.
Then we said we'll only return, don't forget to return everything from over here as well. So there's our left join. We're saying give me everything from the left hand table, which I'm trying to color in and I'm not doing a very good job of. Left join. Where a right hand side join is the other side. We're saying, well, let's put P here. Big circles. P, W, person. A right hand join would be used for what you said before. Let's look for all the people who don't have jobs. Which would be, there's our inner join, and now we're going to do a right join, so that means return me everything from the person table, regardless of if they have an entry in PW or not. There's a right join.
Interesting. So can you specify, so you said that they're short for like left outer join and right outer join.
Yep. So really join here is shorthand for inner join. Inner join.
So there are only 3 types of joins?
Yeah.
Oh, you can't just have it. Outer join.
You can write outer join on its own.
What does that do?
I don't know.
It probably gets
I
you
think that would give you a
anything
left
but the
join.
Oh. What? How do you...
Oh, so how would you find only the workers who don't have jobs? So we can do this. Wrong one. We have to finish this one off pretty quickly.
Correlation. Or, no, remove all the people, yeah. Oh, I guess.
So we can do this one. So just really fast finish this one off. If we go, I want to find all the bad entries in my person workplace table.
Okay.
So find me all the ones where the first name that they have over here is null. So we go, awesome. We just change this to where P dot person ID is null. There you go, no worries at all. So there's your bad results.
Yes.
Those are your bad entries in the person workplace table. So what we've effectively done here is we've taken this left join and we've said, whoa, there, find me all of the stuff that doesn't have a match in the other table. There's my person workplace table, there's my person table. So our inner join would have gotten this part here. Our left join would have gotten all of the other stuff over here, but by doing the where clause and saying, hey, get me the stuff where it doesn't exist in person workplace only, we're effectively going like that.
But what if you wanted, I don't know if this ever would have a use, but what if I wanted everything from here?
Just
and
that one?
No, both of them.
Both of those are where they, okay, so that would, you would do a left join, I would do that with a left join to get one set and a right join to get the other set, and then I would union them together.
Okay, fair enough.
Cool.
Cool.
So there is a very quick introduction to joins. The basic what we're trying to get out of there is that we are going to be, well, in the next thing we're going to be using our join on its own, our inner join. Find me the ones where we've got a match in table A and a match in table B and the bits where they cross over.
Okay, cool.
I think I just said that we're going to use an inner join, we're actually going to use a left join. So anyway, let's move on to the next video and we'll look at that.
Cool.
Cool. Thank you very much, everybody.